Welcome back to the familiar confines of Old Orchard Beach Ballpark for tonight's action in the Greater Northeast Collegiate Baseball League. It's a rubber match between the Nor'easters and the Lightning, or at least a rubber match in the loosest sense of the word. The Nor'easters took the first two matchups, but the Lightning have gotten in the win column since then, trying to get their record to an even 500 at 1-2 right now. Nor'easters pacing the league with a 7-4 margin, 2 games ahead of their closest competition. On the mound today, they've got Josh Murphy, a freshman at Bryant, and the defense around him: Brady Graffam at first base, Jack LeBlond at second, Luke Chessie at short, Gus Lappin at third. In the outfield, Chris Balzano in left, Brett Federico in center, and Michael Wern in right. And Ryan Robertson doing the catching for Murphy. And the lineup he will be facing: a 9-man unit for Matt Powers' Lightning squad of Matthew Connor, Andrew Heffernan, Richie Gilboy, Grady Hotham, Gus Holland, Ian Libby, Reese Owens, Nick Swain, and Gavin Belarjan. The first of whom is set to step in right now, Matthew Connor, heading into his freshman year, as everyone on this Lightning squad is. He will be heading to Assumption in the fall. He spent his last season at Cheverus, ready to take the first offering from the 5'11 left-hander. He's in for a strike, and we're underway. Connor is a Lewiston native. He's at second base for the Lightning today. He takes high. It's not the weather you might order in a perfect baseball universe, but certainly better than the rain that has been plaguing Greater Northeast Collegiate Baseball games left and right, including a game scheduled for Thursday that is currently being made up. This is a 9-inning game today, and I, Charlie Fellows, will be taking you through it. 2-1 is low. Murphy, also a Lewiston native, but he stayed close to home, went to Lewiston High School, graduated this past spring. 3-1. Cut and a miss. And left-hander's payoff pitch now to the opening batter of the game. Cut and a miss for strike 3. Connor sits down. Strong start to the game for Murphy. It's his first start on the season. He will face now Andrew Heffernan, one of many terrifying hitters in this Lightning lineup. He's got a home run this season already. He's heading to Merrimack in the fall, spent his last 4 years with South Portland, captured a championship this spring as he calls for time. Also took home the 2023 Gatorade Baseball Player of the Year in the state of Maine. And Murphy throws that one to the backstop with the one away in the top of the first. Heffernan was a dual threat. He did it all with the Red Riots. 0.33 ERA, and he hit .432. 1-0. Swing and a miss on a high strike. Went 2 for 4 in his Lightning debut this season. Followed that up with a 3 RBI game up in Harrison that featured a 3-run homer. And a game his squad would eventually lose to these very Nor'easters. 2-1. Lined up the middle and past the glove of the second baseman LeBlond for a base hit. Heffernan does what he does best. One on, one out for an equally terrifying slugger, but dangerous to the other field, Richie Gilboy. He hit a 3-run homer of his own in the Lightning's last game out, their first win of the season, a 6-0 shellacking of the Windjammers in Sanford. That was part of a 4-run first inning. As that throw goes over to first and off the glove of Gratham, and down to second goes Heffernan on the errant throw from Murphy. So a man in scoring position now with 1 out for the left-handed slugger. He was a teammate of Heffernan's on those South Portland Red Riots. Hit .333, batted in 10 runs that season. He's heading off to St. Michael's in the fall. 1-0, line foul. Off into the haze that is enveloping this stadium, as it is most of southern Maine currently. One and one. That's low and to the backstop. Heffernan down to third. A wild pitch from Murphy. Robertson, one of the steadier catchers in the league, but I don't know if any catcher would have been able to lay out for that one. 2 balls and 1 strike. With a man on third. Swing and a miss to even the count. One thing about these Lightning is they always strike quickly. Whether they win or lose, they tend to score the bulk of their runs in the early going. And Gilboy has been a part of that. 2-2. Caught and a miss. Second strikeout of the inning. And a huge one for Murphy in his quest to keep Heffernan from touching home. Cleanup man is Grady Hotham out of Erskine Academy in South China. He's a native of Palermo. Up 95 a bit from here. The man on third and 2 outs. Murphy starts him off low. Hotham's heading to USM in the fall. Coming off a season hitting .340, batting in 9 runs for Erskine. He's out in center today. The Lightning ranks tonight are a bit lean, so a few players, including Hotham, are a bit out of position. He takes high for a ball. Hotham typically an infielder. 2-0 from the Bryant lefty. That's flying into right field, drifting foul, but running on and making the running catch for the third out is Michael Wern to retire the side. The Lightning strand 1 man at third, and the Nor'easters are due up in the bottom of the first. To the bottom of the first we go at the ballpark in Old Orchard Beach. The Lightning trot out their defense and their starting pitcher, Quinn McDonald, a Kennebunk High School graduate from Kennebunkport, heading to St. Anselm in the fall. And the defense flanking him, Reese Owens at first, Matthew Connor at second, Andrew Heffernan at short, Richie Gilboy at third. The outfield, Nick Swain in left, Grady Hotham, as I mentioned, in center, Gavin Belargian in right, and Gus Holland, the everyday catcher for the Lightning, doing the catching for McDonald, a 6'3" right-hander, who will be facing the lineup of Max Zalewski's Nor'easters, Jack LeBlond, Ryan Robertson's Andrew Merrill, Luke Chessie, Brady Graffam, Brett Federico, Michael Wern, Chris Balzano, Dylan Furman, and Gus Lappin, the 10-man lineup. Zalewski typically utilizing the extra hitter. Lightning skipper Matt Powers typically does not. There are arguments for both sides. The not using one allows your hitters to get more cracks at the starting pitcher and more at-bats in general. But the extra hitter does introduce another bat that could feasibly get hot on any given day. Given the disparity in records, you could make the case that the 10-man solution is better, but we shall see how it plays out today. The leadoff man is Jack LeBlond, who is at second base. A senior at USM. Cuts and misses at McDonald's first offering. LeBlond is from Lewiston, went to Bridgeton Academy. Lots of Lewiston natives here. 0-1 coming. Cut and miss again. He transferred to USM this summer after 3 years at UMaine, where he did not see any action. 0-2. Just outside. LeBlond hit 143. 2 home runs with the Huskies. Strike 3, right down the middle. LeBlond looks at an out. And McDonald's joining the first out as a strikeout club. Ryan Robertson now will stand in, the catcher from Immaculata, where he's a rising sophomore. Foul back. Robertson is from Bowdoin, went to Mount Ararat High School. Looks at strike 1. Strike 2, excuse me. Saw the plate just once at Immaculata as a freshman. He struck out there, but and he looks at another strike. I was about to say he's been hitting well, but that happens to everyone every so often. Second straight looking strikeout for Colin McDonald. Try saying that 5 times fast. 2 men down, none on for Andrew Merrill. A sophomore at East Connecticut State looks at a strike down the middle. McDonald bringing the heat early. His nor'easter bats are not ready. Merrill's from Oxford. Went to Oxford Hills Comprehensive High School. Fouled off himself for strike 2. He's also hit well this season. .389, batted in 2 runs. A 6'2 right-hander. Looks at strike 3. 3 straight strikeouts. Just the start you want from Quinn McDonald in this bottom of the first. The Nor'easters are going to have to adjust their batting approach, but first they'll have to neutralize the terrifying Lightning bats as we head to the second of 9 innings tonight. Top of the second now. Just 1 hit between the 2 teams. No runs as of yet. Josh Murphy will face off against Holland, Libby, and Owens. Gus Holland, the first of that trio, the everyday catcher for the Lightning. Good chases an outside pitch for strike 1. Holland, a Freeport native. Heading to USM, along with Hotham. And the man batting after him, Ian Libby. This USM trio in the lineup tonight. 0-1. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. Murphy had 2 strikeouts that first inning. His counterpart Quinn McDonald had 3. The arms are warmed up. The bats, not so much. That's low. Now Holland calls for time. Lined right at the jumping glove of Brady Graffam for a great catch for the first out. The 5'7" Graffam had to really lay out there, but got a glove on it. And that will bring up Ian Libby, the towering 6'7" ace of the staff for the Lightning. Has to bat today due to a thin lineup. Libby's from Gray. Graduated from Gray New Gloucester High School. Takes another pitch low. He's fourth in the GNCBL with a 1.17 ERA across 6 innings pitched. Not a super large sample size compared to the other 4 teams, but he was excellent in Sanford against the Windjammers in that start. Went 5 innings. Gave up no runs. Just a couple hits. Inside for a 3-0 count. And that will be low, ball 4. 6'7" lefty gets a free pass. First walk of the game for Murphy. And Reese Owens will bat, the everyday first baseman for the Lightning, out of Bonnie Eagle, heading to St. Joseph's in the fall. That's high. Murphy trying to find the strike zone again after a lot of control shown in the first inning. Lefty's 1-0. Finds it there. Right on the corner. And gets him swinging 1-2 now. Bryant, freshman, will get the opportunity for more innings than normal due to this 9-inning format tonight. So he'll try to go as deep into this game as he can. Typically starters go 5 or 6 innings. That skips in the dirt. Libby able to take second base. Two on the way to Owens. With 1 away, a man on second. He deals high. Payoff. And that's outside. Murphy not happy about it, but another man aboard. Second walk of the inning. Nick Swain will try to make something of this jam Murphy has gotten himself into. Swain is heading to Dean in the fall after graduating from South Portland. He completes the state champion trio on this squad of Heffernan and Gilboy. With those names, you can tell why they won. Swain hit .231 with the Red Riots. Cutting a miss for strike 1. Also had some spot innings, as he has with this Lightning squad. So many of the prospects on Matt Powers' squad, as Swain cuts at strike 2, are dual players that can pitch and hit. So starting pitching duties are by committee for the most part. Libby, of course, would be their ace. Belarjan had some great starting innings up in Harrison. MacDonald, of course, pitching well today. They are a force to be reckoned with, and yet these Nor'easters have gotten the better of them so far this season. Murphy's 2-2. High once again. Second straight full count. These Lightning hitters know how to work the count. This Nor'easters staff is also stacked. 2 of the best pitchers in the GNCBL in Colin McDonald and Ryan Penny. Neither of them got the start today. as Swain stays alive. Foul that one back. Colin McDonald leads the league in strikeouts. Ryan Penny leads the league in whip and is second in ERA as Swain looks at strike 3. He will sit down with Murphy's third K. And 2 away for Gavin Belargin, the Woolwich native. Lays off ball 1. Belargin from Morse High School hit .288, batted in 14 runs with the Shipbuilders. His last start against the Windjammers in Stanford, he pitched 4 innings, gave up 1 hit, and no runs. Also can't hit it. And he'll be taking both those talents to UMaine in the fall. 1-1 is high. Robertson able to stop it from going to the backstop. 2 men on, 2 out. And the early goings here. Murphy's 2-1. Swing and a miss. When he finds the strike zone, he is fanning bats. If he can do it consistently, the Nor'easters will be in business here. 2-2, dribbled down the first base line. Graffam gets a glove on it and able to make the tag for the third out, says the first base umpire. And some discussion ongoing here, but it does appear that that was called the third out. Although the Lightning base runners are staying there. The umpire's having a discussion. As Matthew Connor stands in the batter's box for a non-existent pitcher. I will admit I'm not aware if the coach's challenge exists in a league without replay. And the call is safe. Just able to lay it out is Belargin. And so the inning is not over. The bases will in fact be loaded with 2 outs. Some displeasure from skipper Max Zalewski. He's talking it over with the umpires now. Graffam was not able to apply that tag. And no one was covering first, so Matthew Connor and the Lightning have a second lease on life in the second inning. Murphy will have to work a little bit harder than that to get out of this jam. Ian Libby on third. Rhys Owens on second. Gavin Belargin on first. As Matthew Connor takes low, he struck out swinging his first time up. A chance to put his team on the board first, as the Lightning so often do. And that skipped back off the padding of Ryan Robertson, and, well, Connor won't have to work that hard for the first out, or for the first run, rather. Libby comes around. Runners on second and third now. 2-0. Skied into right. Drifting foul. On the pass ball from Robertson. Connor 2-1. Murphy trying to get out of it. Gets him to a 3-1 count. And that is outside, but just on the corner of the strike zone. Murphy able to work the count full. Will Connor meet the same fate as last time? Murphy still sure thinks so. The payoff pitch stays alive. One run already in after the Nor'easters thought the inning was over. Two more in scoring position. 3-2 to Connor. Down the middle, strike three. Murphy able to get out of it as Connor's down on strikes for the second time, but a run comes in, the Lightning lead in the second inning. Bottom of the second, Quinn McDonald back on the mound after a not quite an immaculate inning. There were a couple balls in there, but 3 strikeouts, all of them looking, had the Nor'easters completely flummoxed. And Luke Chessie will try to change that trend. He's a senior at Bowdoin. Foul back for strike one. He's from Thornton Academy, Saco native. He's hit .262 with 3 home runs with the Polar Bears. Low for ball one. Brady Graffam and Brett Federico also due up in this inning. That's outside for ball two. Just inside. That's chopped into right field for a base hit. First hit allowed by McDonald. Luke Chessie is aboard with Dawson Gunlaw off today. Chessie is the best hitter active for the Nor'easters, as he makes his talents known right there. Brady Graffam, also skilled at the bat. A sophomore at USM, also from Thornton Academy. Takes low. He's hitting .227, batted in 2 runs, has 2 doubles this season. Had just 1 hit his freshman year at USM. Lined into left foul. 5'7" right-hander, business management major. With 1 on and none out. McDonald's 1-1. Lined into center field. Going on it is Hotham. He'll get under it to make the catch. The runner will not advance. 1 away for Brett Federico. Senior at St. Lawrence. Hit .365 with 4 doubles his college campaign while making the Liberty League All-Academic team. He's a Marlborough, Massachusetts native. Runner goes. High for ball 1. Throw comes in and not in time. Chessie in with a stolen base. Man on second now with 1 away for Federico. The St. Mark's High School product lines that into center. Coming on Hotham to grab the second out of the inning. Chessie will once again stay put. The 7th man in this lineup is Michael Wern, a junior at St. Joseph's from Ellington, Connecticut. He's hitting .263, batted in 1 run this season. Hit .260, batted in 15 runs, stole 3 bases with the Monks as a sophomore. So he takes ball 1. outside corner. 1-1. Former team captain at East Catholic High School in Ellington, Connecticut. 1-1. Cut and a miss. Also former GNAC All-Rookie selection 2 years ago. He's out in right today for Selewski's squad. Chopped down the right field line. That's foul. Tried to go to the opposite field. Very nearly got it down. The right fielder, Belarjan, would not have been able to grab that if it was just a couple feet over. That almost certainly would have scored. Chessie from second. And that's strike three. Once again on that outside corner, Warren sits down. The Lightning leave a man, or the Nor'easters rather, leave a man on second. The Lightning keep their 1-0 margin as we head to the third inning in Old Orchard. Ready for the top of the third inning at the ballpark in Old Orchard Beach. Josh Murphy back on the mound for the Nor'easters. He's allowed 1 run on 2 hits. Fires in ball 1 to Andrew Heffernan, who singled last time, reached second on a throwing error by Murphy. Got to third on a wild pitch and was stranded there. 2-0. Murphy for the second straight inning starts the leadoff hitter off 3-0. And that's a 4-pitch walk. Heffernan aboard for the second time. Third walk of the outing for Murphy. And Richie Gilboy, who struck out swinging last time up, will stand in. Once again, Murphy throws over to first with Heffernan on there. Able to connect with Grafman that time, though. Low and in. Gilboy heading to St. Michael's in the fall, bringing a state champion pedigree with him. Chopped right at Murphy off his glove, and we're through the legs of the Chessie and LeBlanc, shortstop and second baseman. Both went for it. Neither could come up with it. And Heffernan able to capitalize it. He goes down to third. Gilboy in with a single. The Lightning once again in business here with none away. And Grady Hotham will stand in. He flew out to right last time up. Now with Heffernan on third and Gilboy on first. Heffernan can run. Mighty swing and a miss from the Palermo native. Runner goes. Takes low for a ball. Sliding in safely without a throw is Gilboy. So 2 men in scoring position with none away. Murphy with a precarious 1-0 lead for his squad could balloon if he's not careful. And that's the second pitch he's thrown where his cap has come off. Really putting his back into it. 2-1. In the dirt. Heffernan holds up. And low for ball 4. The bases loaded with none out. Hotham gets a free pass. A 4th issued by Murphy. 2nd in the inning. And you don't need a premier analyst like myself to tell you that walking the bases loaded with none out, not a desirable situation for the Nor'easter starter, who once again loses his cap on the first pitch strike to Holland, who lined out his last time up on a layout leaping catch by the first baseman Graffam. 1-1. The proverbial pond populated by ducks. Heffernan on 3rd, Gilboy 2nd, Hotham 1st. That's chopped to the shortstop off his glove. Into score is Heffernan. The runners will stay where they are. I don't think Chessie had much of a play to make there anyway, but no force outs recorded. Lightning now lead 2-0 on the RBI single from Holland. Gilboy down to 3rd, Hotham to 2nd. Ball 1 into Ian Libby, who walked his last time up. Murphy with some serious command issues now. But that's right down the middle. Not sure what the correlation of balls to strikes are, of pitches where his hat comes off. That one was a strike. That one was not. Runners stayed put. Robertson doing a great job behind the bag. Two and 1. Lined into right field for a base hit. Coming in to score is Gilboy. And the runners again will not try to advance further than that. But Gilboy comes around. Libby an RBI of his own. Murphy still has not recorded an out in this top of the 3rd, with 2 runs already in and 3 more on the base paths. And here comes the manager, Max Zalewski, along with the catcher. They're going to talk things over. We likely are not seeing a pitching change here, but trying to get Murphy's head right. And Rhys Owens will once again step into the batter's box. He also walked. Got to 2nd on a Gavin Belargin single. Got to 3rd on a pass ball. And that was as far as he got. Not out. A man at every base. Murphy fires in a strike. Chopped on the infield to the shortstop Chessie for the first out. A welcome one for Murphy. A double play away from getting out of this inning with just 2 runs in. All things considered, would be much better than the alternative anyway. Nick Swain looks at a ball right outside. He struck out looking when last he batted. The South Portland native. Going to deal some damage. That one just low. With Hotham at 3rd, Holland at 2nd, Libby at 1st. Line foul. Three 0 Lightning here in the top of the 3rd. That's inside. For a 3-1 count to Swain. And Murphy walks in a run. In to score comes Hotham, who reached base on a walk himself. Holland to third, Libby to second. That is the 5th walk through 2 1/3 innings issued by Murphy. Gavin Balarjian did not need one to reach base the first time up. He hit a single. One of 2 hits in the second inning. He scored Libby. Chop foul just outside the press box. 1-1. Swing and a miss on a low breaking ball. He caught the hat that time. It was nearly about to fall, but worked it into his follow through. 1-2. Couldn't save it that time, though. Murphy 1 strike away from ending this. Line to second. Bobbled and unable to be fielded cleanly by LeBlond. Oh, that was it. If he had gotten his glove on that and thrown over to Graffam, that would have ended it. But instead, the Lightning's 4th run of the inning, Gus Holland comes around. Could have been the inning-ending double play. Balarjian aboard with the E4. And now we are 1 batter shy of having batted around in this 3rd inning. Matthew Connor has struck out twice. His 2nd strikeout ended the 2nd inning before more damage could be done. Have some discussion here between landing manager Powers and the home plate umpire. It's resolved. Connor is struck out swinging and struck out looking. 2/3 of Murphy's K total. Down the middle for strike 1. He has thrown a lot of pitches in this inning, so going deep into this one might not be feasible, as that's high. Lined right at Graffam for the first out and tags Balarjian at first to double off and end the inning. 4 runs come around, though. The Lightning now lead it 5-0. The bottom of the Nor'easters lineup due up for the first time in the bottom of the 3rd. Balzano, Furman, and Lappin. The trio due up to face Quinn McDonald, who through 2 innings has struck out 4 and given up just 1 hit. That was a Luke Chessie single. Chris Balzano is a junior at Roger Williams. Looks at strike 1. He's from Thornton Academy. Also took a year at Bridgeton Academy. Just outside. Balzano hitting .231, batted in 8 runs, which is 3rd in the GNCBL. 2-1. Was majoring in political science at Roger Williams down in Rhode Island. As a sophomore there, he had .261 on 26 at-bats. Cuts and misses to even the count. 5'10 lefty. He's out and left today. McDonald's offering just outside. Both of these teams have a skilled pitcher named McDonald. We may see Colin McDonald in relief, depending on what skipper Max Zalewski decides to do after Murphy's outing in the third inning, but leadoff walk gets Chris Balzano aboard. Just a second base runner allowed by McDonald. Dylan Furman is the extra hitter tonight. Sophomore at USM. Popped him up into the shallow outfield, running on and calling for it. The second baseman, Matthew Connor, makes a catch on the run for the first out. Gus Lappin will bat with one away. Junior at Husson. Lappin is a South Portland graduate, played with the trio of South Portland players when they were sophomores. Lined up to second base, on to the shortstop for one, on to first for the inning-ending double play. The minimum still faced despite the leadoff walk, and the Nor'easters still cannot get anything going against Quinn McDonald as we head to the fourth inning. As we head to the top of the fourth, a pitching change after Josh Murphy's disastrous third inning, allowing 4 runs and myriad of hits. Aaron Kiss is in, the rising freshman at Husson, to face off against Andrew Heffernan along with Richie Gilboy and Grady Hotham. Heffernan has singled and walked. Takes a 1-0. Kiss graduated from Massabesic this past spring. Heading off to Husson soon. Swing and a miss at the first strike. Kiss, one of many pitchers on this staff that is a quick worker. No pitch clock, of course, in this league, but doesn't stop that. Is rocketed out to left field, going back. Left fielder making the catch, Chris Balzano. Looked like that might have enough to clear the high fence at first, but that is a loud first out for Heffernan. He, of course, has the power for it. One away for Richie Gilboy, has struck out swinging and singled. Kiss starts him off inside. As I was saying, of course, no pitch clock in the Greater Northeast Collegiate Baseball League, but even with men on, almost all the pitchers in this league work very quickly. That's hit, and Karams takes a funny carom off the border between the infield and the outfield. Not that Jack LeBlanc would have had a play on it anyway, but Gilboy aboard with an interesting single. Hotham has flied out and walked. He was the second of the first 4 batters in the top of the third inning, all of whom eventually came around to score. Looks at strike 1 from Kiss. The 5'11" right-hander throws over to first. Out of Massabesic. In center field, coming on, making the grab, Brett Federico. And Heffernan has to dash back to first, gets there safely. 2 down. Gus Holland has singled. He's also lined to third. And been at the receiving end of the masterful Quinn McDonald showing so far. Robertson saves ball 1. The Lightning up 5-0 here in the fourth inning of this 9-inning contest. Runner goes. Chopped down the third base line. Foul. Right on the line. Back to first goes Kiss. That's Heffernan on first, not Gilboy on first, not Heffernan. I misspoke before. He can run. Kiss knows it. 1-1 in the dirt. Right down the middle to even the count. This is the last action for the Greater Northeast Collegiate Baseball League for a few days, taking a bit of a hiatus for the 4th of July. So these teams will not take the field again until Thursday. Runner goes. Fouled at the feet of Holland. Gilboy will have to return to first. 2-2, 2 down, a man on. Kiss not taking any chances. Almost every time he has not done that, Gilboy has gone anyway. So he could stall the game indefinitely if he wanted to. Fouled back out of play. Two and two. Kiss offers, lined at the shortstop, Chessie, and on to first to retire the side. A great connection from Chessie to Graffam. The Lightning, after their busy third inning, go quietly in the fourth. Their 5-0 margin stays just there. Quinn McDonald back on for a fourth inning of work to face off against the top of the Nor'easter lineup, second time through the order, starting with Jack LeBlond. He was the first victim of McDonald's 3-strikeout first inning. Trying to get some form of momentum going to chip away at this 5-run deficit. Trying to start it right away with a big cut. Comes up empty. Righty's 0-1, fouled back. Quick 0-2 on LeBlond. Trying not to meet the same fate. Outside. One and two. Popped him up into right center. Going back, the second baseman, Connor, who makes the grab for the first out. One away for I believe this is a pinch hitter. No, this is... Right. Okay. Apologize for the confusion. This is Jack LeBlond up right now, number 16. So it's a bit of confusion as to where I am in the lineup here. Gus Lappin grounded out to end the last inning, so we'll get that squared away quickly. But this, for real this time, is Jack LeBlond. 2-2 count. Outside to bring the count full. Payoff pitch from McDonald. Staying alive is LeBlond, the senior at USM. Popped him up on the infield. Gus Holland, by the very tip of his glove, able to make the grab for the second out. And now Andrew Merrill in. Okay. So LeBlond batted in Ryan Robertson's spot. So we've got some substitutions going on that will become clear when the Nor'easters next take the field. I apologize for the confusion. There are two away. Chopped down the third baseline foul by Merrill, who struck out looking, as did the two men before him his first time up. 1-1 outside to the East Connecticut State sophomore. Nearly hitting 400 this year. He has that 3 spot for a reason. 2-1. Just inside the strike zone. McDonald to end the inning does so. Swing and a miss. Merrill goes down for the second time. 1, 2, 3 go the Nor'easters. And we go to the 5th. Ready to start the top of the 5th now in Old Orchard. Got some confusion from that last inning to clean up. To the best of my ability, the best of my inference ability, what happened was Dylan Furman, who is now in at catcher for Ryan Robertson, batted first in Jack LeBlond's spot, and LeBlond batted second in Furman's spot. May have been a mix-up in the batting order there, but in any event, we're all set now, and the battery is completely new in this 5th inning. Aaron Kiss done after 1 inning of work, and Michael Wern on the mound, leaving his post in right field. Wern typically a hitter for this team, but the 6'1" right-hander can deal. Fires in a second straight strike. I'll tell you who took his post in right field when we get the opportunity. 0-2 on Ian Libby is outside. Libby has walked and hit a single. A Gray New Gloucester product. Chopped down the foul line. Kiss threw 1 great inning, gave up just the 1 hit. It was a breath of fresh air after a couple rocky frames before it. 1-2. Evened it up. But Max Zalewski going deep into his pen for this 9-inning game. Excuse me. 2-2. In there for strike 3. Libby is retired for the first time. Excuse me once again. That will bring up Reese Owens, who has walked and popped out to short. With 1 away in a game, his squad leads by 5. Wern, high strike. Got jammed, hit it right to Wern, who underhands it over to Graffam for the second out. Nick Swain will bat with the bases empty and 2 away. He has walked and struck out looking. Lightning have been quiet these last few innings, but that is typically how it goes. Swain looks at a strike. They do all their scoring in the first third of the game or so and coast from there. Down the right field line into foul territory. I believe that is Aaron Kiss out in right. He has moved from the mound, so him and Warren have switched spots. But we will see once he comes up to bat. 0-2. High and away. The Ellington, Connecticut native strikes him out to retire the side. A 1-2-3 inning for the Nor'easters. See if that momentum can translate into the offensive side of the ball with batters 4, 5, and 6 due up in the bottom of the fifth. Bottom of the fifth in a game the home Nor'easters trail by 5. The first man up will be Luke Chessie, the shortstop who made a tremendous play to end, I believe that was the top of the fourth. A tremendous throw to a diving catch by the first baseman Brady Graffam. Looks at strike one. Chessie has gotten a single. He's the only man on the Nor'easters with a hit today. Fouled back, quick 0-2. Got the second on a stolen base and did not get any further than that. And that's strike 3. Down on 3 straight strikes. Quinn McDonald is nearly untouchable. That's his 5th K. Brady Graffam now, the other half of that inning-ending putout. He flew out to center last time up. That one just cleared the backstop and landed in the crowd, of which there are a few today. I saw a GNCBL turnout. We love all our fans, of course, and those that aren't among the ranks at the ballpark today are likely listening to this right now, so we love you too. And for strike 2. McDonald just missed. 2-2 on the USM sophomore. Popped up into foul territory. Coming on Gus Holland to make the grab for the second out. Brett Federico also flew out to center when last he batted in the second inning. One of a few Massachusetts natives playing in the league this summer. Flied into right. Balarjan gets under it. And that will do it for the Nor'easters. 3 up, 3 down. McDonald has allowed just 2 base runners and none since the 3rd inning. The Nor'easters have not cracked the code yet, with the 6th inning coming up. Michael Warren back on the mound in the top of the 6th inning for a second frame of work. He's got Balarjan, Connor, and Heffernan. And actually, we've got a pinch hitter here. Balarjan is out, and Henry Lodger will bat in his stead. The Thornton Academy product heading to Husson in the fall. Cuts on strike 1. His Trojans lost to the eventual champion South Portland 4-2 in the South Regional Finals of Class A main playoffs. Dribbled foul. He and Justin LaBelle, as well as Josh Kopetsky, all Thornton Academy products. Lajer the only one active today. 1-2 from Wern. Cut and a miss, strike three. Lajer goes down. Wern's third K matches the starter Murphy. And now Matthew Connor, who has struck out twice and lined out. He's 0 for 3. He'll get a couple more chances to bat, though. Wern starts him off way outside. Nine-inning games, typically called for making up double headers. This is further evidenced by the fact that it's on a Friday night, not a typical night of action for the league, but baseball always adapts. 2-0 inside. This league has been absolutely hammered by rain and weather through the first part of the schedule. It's a wonder they've gotten as many games in as we have, as that's a 4-pitch walk. For Connor, he's aboard for the first time. And in this double-header makeup game, Andrew Heffernan now stands at the plate. He has singled, walked, and flied out. Chop foul. The Gatorade Baseball Player of the Year. The first half of a terrifying 1-2 punch between him and Richie Gilboy. Outside, 1-1 from Wern. Heffernan headed to Merrimack in the fall, along with fellow Lightning player Josh Kopetsky. As that is hit sky high and into foul territory. Right back into the glove of Graffam, bouncing off a seat. Excuse me, Campbell Cassidy, not Josh Kopetsky, the other player, heading to Merrimack in the fall. Cassidy not active today. 1-2 on Heffernan, with Gilboy on first. It's been quiet, just the second base runner the Lightning have had since that fourth inning, as Heffernan stays alive once more. The Lightning, though, have done all the damage they've needed to. Heffernan is one of those 5 runs. First man up in that fourth inning, who eventually came around to score. One and 2 from Wern. Just outside. Heffernan lays off, and he's rewarded. Making Wern work for it. And now he works the count full. Payoff pitch. Fouled back. Lajer ran on that one. Or Connor, excuse me, the man at first. Long at bat for Heffernan. True battle. Warren trying to win it. Another payoff. Popped him up into right center. LeBlanc going back, and the right fielder Kiss calls him off and gets the second out. We believe that's Kiss anyway. The former right fielder was Michael Warren, who's now on the bag. So, but a fine catch it was. Back to first throws Warren. Now, Richie Gilboy has singled twice and struck out. May also be Chris Balzano out and right as well. It's difficult to tell whether it's an 8 or a 6 from the perch I inhabit. 1-0. 2 down, a man on. In this 5-run game. Taking high for ball 2. Wern. Chopped to Graffam at first, able to step on the bag to retire the side. Another quiet one for the Lightning. Nor'easters will get another crack at McDonald or whoever the Lightning trot out in the bottom of the 6th. Bottom of the 6th ready to get underway, and any notion of a pitching change for the Lightning is far in the distance, because who else would you need but Quinn McDonald? He is 5 innings deep, allowed just 1 hit, 1 walk, struck out 5, as Michael Warren slaps that down. And he's out. One away, quick out, as most of them are from McDonald. That will bring up Chris Balzano, who is walked. He's one of 2 base runners Quinn has allowed. Foul back out of play. Nearly the same spot on that foul ball. Quick 0-2. McDonald has been nigh unhittable. Balzano, one of the few people to get on base against him, even if it wasn't a hit. Fouls back his 3rd pitch. The junior at Roger Williams looks at a ball. Balzano, former All-State hockey player at Thornton Academy, fouls off his 4th pitch to nearly that exact same spot. Out of frame, off to the left. In his battle with McDonald, make that 5 of them. Dylan Furman on deck as the extra hitter. Once we get through the top of the order again, we'll clear up the lineup confusion. Foul back to left, if you can believe it. That's 6 foul balls, 4 of them extending the 1-2 count. Balzano not going easy, nor did he the first time. McDonald's 1-2. Puts him away. Strike 3. You can dread it and run from it, but it is delaying the inevitable. That's his 6th K. Two away for Furman, who has popped out to third. Looks at a strike. Jams a foul back, and just like that, another 0-2 count. See if this McDonald masterclass will continue. In the dirt from the St. Anselm commit. Grounded toward third, fielded and throwing on, but not in time. Gilboy had to double clutch on it. And Furman outruns it for the second hit allowed by McDonald. Signs of life with 2 outs. Gus Lappin will bat. He is grounded to second base. The last man in this Nor'easters lineup to bat for the second time. And we are in the 6th inning, mind you. McDonald leads him off in the dirt. McDonald out of Kennebunk High School, native of Kennebunkport. Beautiful little seaside town down the coast. Two-0. To Furman, the Stratham, New Hampshire native, Exeter High School graduate. That's all the way to the backstop through the pads of Gus Holland. Furman able to reach second on the pass ball. And a 3-0 count. Holland and McDonald will talk things over. For the first time, the slightest inkling of anything less than absolute control. It's a long-winded way of saying he's 1 ball away from a possible jam, and that's the one he throws. Lappin aboard. Second walk issued by McDonald. So 2 2-out base runners for the top of the Nor'easter lineup. Beginning with Hunter Brissett in the game for LeBlond. Or possibly the 11th man in the lineup. We will see soon. Brissett is a sophomore at USM. Lisbon, Maine native. Chops that foul. Had 11 at-bats with the USM Huskies as a freshman. Got a hit in one of them while majoring in electrical engineering. Hoping to be the spark here. Down the middle for strike 2. McDonald to end the threat. Low and in. Furman at second, Lappin at first. The bottom of the Nor'easter lineup coming through. 1-2. And that's strike 3. Just hit the outside corner. McDonald bleeds for just a second, but nothing doing for the Nor'easter bats. Brissett is retired. The 7th inning coming right up. Michael Warren will continue his long relief appearance in the top of the second inning with Hotham, Holland, and Libby due up for the Lightning. Grady Hotham has flat out to right, flat out to left, and walked. And Warren starts him off with a high strike. So far, he's 2 innings into his relief appearance, has not allowed a hit. Giving up a walk, just 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. Just the man the Nor'easters have needed to steady the ship, give their bats a chance to catch up. And the second half of the bargain has not been fulfilled yet, but still a lot of baseball left to play. One-two from Wern, cut and a miss. Hotham goes down. 4th strikeout for Wern. Just 2 shy of McDonald, despite having pitched for a third of the innings the Lightning starter has, and now Gus Holland has singled, grounded out, and lined out. Takes ball 1. Freeport native bats with 1 away. Against the Ellington, Connecticut product, who deals a 2-0. It's lined into left field and running on and making the grab. Chris Balzano, a nice little play for the second out. Looked like that may drop. Excuse me, that's Brett Federico out and left. So some musical chairs out in the outfield. Federico was in center. Ball 1 just outside to Ian Libby. 6'7" lefty has walked, struck out, and singled. Swings and misses. And another cut and a miss for strike 3. And another quick inning. Michael Wern has really steadied the ship here against these Lightning bats. We'll see if his bats can finally come through. The bottom of the second coming up. Bottom of the 7th, and Quinn McDonald's day is done after 6 solid innings, 2 hits, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Andrew Heffernan is on to replace him. He will get the top of the Nor'easters order. We've answered our question. This is an 11-man lineup with Hunter Brissett slotting in the 11th spot. The man batting right now is Jack LeBlond, who has struck out twice and popped out. Apologize again for all that confusion. The lineup card I was given had just 10 names on it. Just outside for ball 2. Line into center field, coming on and not making the catch. Got a glove on it and did a bit of a face plant into the grass out in center, but Grady Hotham could not make the play, and LeBlond is aboard. Just the second hit of the game for the Nor'easters, and their first batter facing another pitcher. Ball one to Ryan Robertson. Excuse me, that's... Okay, so we now know for sure what has happened. It's not an 11-man lineup. For real this time, the actual answer to what happened, Brissett was batting for LeBlond, and LeBlond moved down one spot in the lineup to bat for Ryan Robertson. And this is Andrew Merrill, who pops out to right. Terribly sorry for that. But we are now officially back on. Andrew Merrill has struck out twice, ropes that into left center, running on, and that time he'll make a diving catch. Hotham lays out and goes 1 for 2 on his attempts this inning. Unable to advance is LeBlond. Now Luke Chessie will bat with a man out and one on. Cuts and misses. 1-1. Chessie has singled and struck out. He is half of the Nor'easters' hit total, and he'll get another one there as it goes through the hole past Andrew Heffernan, or excuse me, the shortstop's diving glove for the second hit. Mound conference will commence. LeBlond down to second. Chessie aboard with his second hit. Shortstop now is Matthew Connor. This is Heffernan now on the mound. And inside taken by Brady Graffam. Up with 1 out and 2 men on. First time the Nor'easters have had multiple base runners in an inning. 2-0 from Heffernan. That's a low strike. Two and one. Graffam works the count in his favor. LeBlond on second, Chessie on first. Cut and a miss. Full goes the count. Graffam can put his Nor'easters on the board. If Michael Warren can keep dealing on the other side of the ball, this could be a rally. High chopper to third for 1 force out, and through the glove of the first baseman. Will not get the force out there. Rounding third and trying to score now is Luke Chessie, and he will get in on a double by Brady Graffam. LeBlond out at third with the force out, but Chessie comes all the way around to score on Reese Owens not being able to get his glove on it. Flied into right by Federico and unable to make the grab. Down to third goes Graffam. Federico on with the error by Grady Hotham now at second, I believe. Michael Wern now with one man out takes a strike. Runners on the corners, 1 run already in. 5-1 the score now. The first run the Nor'easters have given up in a while. They won their last outing 6-0. Runner goes in for strike 2. Throw down to second by Gus Holland is not in time. Federico has himself a stolen base. Now 2 men in scoring position with 1 out for Wern, who has struck out looking and grounded out to short. And that's hit hard out to left center, but into the running glove of the left fielder. And that will be out number 3. So the Nor'easters get 1. Still a lot of work to do, but they've got 2 more ups to do it. First, the Lightning will try to extend their lead as we head to the ultra-rare 8th inning in GNCBL baseball here in Old Orchard. Top of the 8th at the ballpark. Michael Wern's night is done after 3 innings in relief. Andrew Pruill will replace him. The senior at Thomas College from Warren, graduate of Medomac Valley High School. Medomac Valley. Not entirely sure on that pronunciation. He will face the trio of Owen, Swain, and Lodger. Reese Owens has walked, popped out, and grounded out to the pitcher. So we're ready to stand in after the umpire's signal. Pruill is thrown 12 innings this season, 4.08 ERA. With Thomas, he had 15 appearances, out of the pen. Cut and a miss from Owens. 4.38 ERA in those 24 innings. 6'2" right-hander. Another massive cut. To the Bonnie Eagle graduate. 0-2. 3 straight swinging strikes. Pruill starts off strong. And that is the 9th total strikeout between the 4 pitchers that the Nor'easters have fielded. 3 from Murphy, 5 from Wern, and now 1 from Pruill, which will bring up Nick Swain, who has 2 of those strikeouts along with a walk. Hit decently hard into center field. Can of corn for Brett Federico. 2 away. For Henry Lodger. He also struck out his last time up after being subbed in for Gavin Belargin. Saco native takes strike 1 high. Two down, none on. Foul back for strike 2. The Nor'easters staff has been nearly flawless since the 4th inning. Just 2 base runners, 1 hit between Wern and Pruill. But the damage was done early. And they have a 4-run deficit to make up if Pruill can get them out of this with no further damage. 1-2. Chopped on the ground to short. Running on, throwing to Grafflin at first with the stretch and the out. Another 1-2-3 inning for the Nor'easters. Bottom of the 8th. They will bat Balzano, Furman, and Lappin. Batters 8, 9, and 10. With a chance to cut into this deficit. Chris Balzano will start it off for the Nor'easters in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Andrew Heffernan on for another inning of work. Leads off with a strike to the Roger Williams Jr. Balzano has walked and struck out. That one rolls to the backstop. Caroms off of Holland's pads, 1-1. The lights have come on here at the ballpark. Not quite sunset yet. He fouled that one wicked hard off his, I think that was his foot, and comes up limping. He'll need a moment. In the meantime, Heffernan and Holland will talk things over. Balzano trying to walk it off. A couple rounds to the on-deck circle. Looks like he's ready to step back in. And he'll do just that. 1-2 the count from Heffernan. And fouled off again. As I was going to say, sunset not for a little while, but this haze make things a bit darker than is typical at this time. Low for ball 2. And who doesn't want to play under the lights anyway? It's a big selling point for this park. Anyone lucky enough to play here. Full count now. Heffernan's payoff pitch. Balzano fights it off, and that one went into the crowd. Beyond my line of sight. 3-2. Grounded right back at Heffernan. Throws on to Owens for the first out. Balzano is retired. Dylan Furman now has singled and popped out. Made it to second base on the Gus Lappin walk, but was stranded there. Heffernan starts him off low. Starter Quinn McDonald still in line for a comfortable win. Heffernan has allowed a run and a couple hits, but nothing close to the sustained damage that the Nor'easters would have to inflict. Did he go around? He did. Strike 2. Laid off that one, though. One out, none on. Heffernan deals. Chopped down the third baseline foul. In a 5-1 ball game in the bottom of the 8th. Just inside, another full count. The Nor'easters have, at the very least, Furman and Lappin, plus 3 more batters in the 9th. That is strike 3. Furman goes down. First K for Heffernan. Now we'll bring up Gus Lappin. With 2 outs in the 8th. He is grounded out and walked. Heffernan starts him off with the ball. As I said before, Heffernan, a man of many talents. He had a 0.33 ERA in a decent number of innings with South Portland High School, while also hitting the cover off the ball. 1-1. Low. Three and 1 now. Each batter before him has had 3 balls in his count, and each batter before him has failed to reach base. Lappin skies it foul into the bullpen. Or behind it, even. Third straight full count Heffernan not afraid to throw a lot of pitches, especially this late in the game. Payoff pitch from the righty. Lined into center field for a base hit. So Lappin wins the 3-2 battle. Third hit allowed by Heffernan, and Hunter Brissett now will bat. He's popped out and struck out looking. Two down and a man on. Heffernan starts him off with a breaking ball, strike one. Holland able to stop it. Pitch in the dirt. And that's up and in. 2-1. In the late goings of a 9-inning Friday night nightcap. Two. Brissett fights it off. The Lisbon Falls High School graduate. Sophomore at USM. On the ground to third base, and unable to be fielded cleanly by Richie Gilboy. We'll get two men aboard with 2 outs. Lappin down to second. Brissett down to first. It's unclear whether Gilboy would have been in time anyway. Took a while trying to get that ball in his glove before it eventually slipped out. Second hit of the inning, both with 2 outs. Jack LeBlond has struck out, popped out, and singled, and lines that right out to second baseman. On to first, Owens makes the grab to retire the side. Some noise, but no smoke, no fire, no runs. 5-1 the lead for the Lightning. They have one last chance to add to that in the top of the 9th in Old Orchard. Andrew Pruill back on for a second inning of work, second and final, as he will close out the Lightning half of this inning and this game, starting with Matthew Connor, who has struck out twice, lined out, and walked. He's 0 for 3, reached base once. The leadoff man for Matt Powers is Lightning. Mighty cut at strike one. Pruill starts him off 0-2. Temperature is beginning to drop on a cool summer night. Down on strikes goes Connor for the 3rd time. Pruill gets his 2nd K. And it has not been Matthew Connor's day. Andrew Heffernan has had a slightly better go of things. He does have a single, along with 2 flyouts and a walk. Also scored a run. Takes the first pitch inside. Heffernan has given his Lightning 2 solid innings in relief as well. He's allowed 4 hits and 1 run, but not much. Gets a single through the hole there, though. Second hit of the night. And that's the first hit the Nor'easters pitching staff has allowed since the 5th inning. So it's been very quiet. Richie Gilboy has 2 hits, 2 singles, also struck out and grounded out. He scored in the second inning to make it a 1-0 ball game. High for ball one. Pearl deals, and that's into right field and just foul. That's to the backstop. Heffernan will advance. Third and 1. One out, one on. Gilboy trying to start something. He will reach by ball 4. Pruill's first walk. And 2 on now with just 1 away for Grady Hoffman. Also 0 for 3 with a walk. He has flied out twice and struck out. Looks at a strike. Heffernan on second, Gilboy on first. Both of them threats to run. Pruill. Skied foul. The Thomas College senior in his second inning of work. Pride of Warren, Maine. Facing and striking out the man from Palermo. Second straight time he has gone down on strikes. And that is the 10th K by the Nor'easter staff this game. An impressive achievement for sure. Gus Holland now ropes that past the diving glove of Luke Chessie. Rounding third and coming in to score is Heffernan. Throw into third to try and get Gilboy. Will not pick him off. Holland's in with an RBI double. Is Lightning now up 6-1. Gilboy down to third with 2 away. So insurance was acquired. Ian Libby can try and tack on some more with Gilboy 90 feet away. Libby has singled and doubled. Also grounded out, lined out twice. Excuse me. He has struck out twice, singled and walked. Popped him up down the left field line. Drifts just out of play. One out away is Andrew Pruill. One strike even. And that's strike 3. He gets the strike. Stranding men on second and third. The Lightning tack on one more insurance run, and now a 5-run deficit for the Nor'easters to climb in the bottom of the 9th. Bottom of the 9th, and the Lightning have their closer out, the terrifying arm out of the bullpen, Ian Libby. Heffernan had 2 innings of solid work, and it will be up to the 6'7" left-hander to prevent the heart of the Nor'easter lineup for getting their team back into this game, starting with Andrew Merrill, who has struck out twice and flied out. 0 for 3. Libby starts him off with a strike that's fouled back. Libby brings the heat, and he mostly does come out of this bullpen past the bat of Merrill for strike 2. He's had some gems in both the GNCBL and in high school. Against Trape Academy down in Kittery, he struck out 15, gave up just 2 hits in a 9-inning complete game shutout. Pruitt checks his swing for ball 2. And the 1 and 2 Lightning have this guy in their bullpen. 2-2. Outside. Lightning are 3 outs away from evening their record and getting a game off of the league-leading Nor'easters. Hoping to pull themselves back into the thick of things as the stretch run of the GNCBL season continues. The inning begins with a leadoff walk to Merrill. Luke Chessie will bat with none out and a man on. He has had by far the most productive day on his squad. 2 singles and a strikeout. He's the only man who's hit multiple times. The other 4 hits are sprinkled throughout the other batters. Outside for ball 1. He came around to score on the Brady Graffam double, the only run that the Nor'easters have mustered. Back to first is Libby. High. Dusk beginning to come on. Temperatures continuing to drop. Three and 1, and Gus Holland will come out to talk with his star reliever. No limit on mound visits in the GNCBL. Can say that with relative certainty. I've seen my share of blow-up innings that featured 2, 3, 4 mound visits. That's hit hard into left field, down for a base hit. So Nor'easters in business with no outs. They got 2 men on. Merrill down to second. Chessie with his 3rd hit of the day. And Brady Graffam now up. He doubled his last time out. Also has popped out and flied out. Sophomore at USM. Business management major. Looks at a first pitch strike. Trying to come up with a pun between that and managing this rally perhaps, but it seems like a stretch. Foul down the left field line. I wish there were more electrical engineering majors, because the puns really write themselves with that. If only Dawson Gunlaw was here. 0-2 from Libby. Outside. Down the middle, strike 3 for a huge first out. Apologies to everybody listening for that loud call, but Graffam goes down. The 9th strikeout for the Lightning staff. And 1 away in the bottom of the 9th. Brett Federico has reached on an error and flied out twice. Grounded down the third base line. Steps on third for one. On to first. Not in time for the second out. Merrill cut down. Chessie down to second. Federico on first. And the final out, perhaps, the final man to bat is a pinch hitter. This is Andrew Pruill, the man who closed out on the mound for the Nor'easters. Looks at ball one, batting for Michael Wern. Pruill is mainly a pitcher, but as we've seen from the Lucas Francises and John Luxingers of this league, there's plenty of room for pitchers that can hit. Pruill has a chance to keep his squad alive, or at least make the final score a little less lopsided. Two-0. Outside 3-0. Finally able to find the strike zone. 3-1 for Pruill. Swing and a miss to bring the count full. Pruill in a sink-or-swim situation. Libby, payoff pitch. Down the middle, strike three, and the Lightning win. A 6-1 final score brings their record to an even 500. The Nor'easters fall to 7-5, a two-game winning streak. The Lightning now officially off the schneid. They have found their rhythm in league play. And that'll do it for a 9-inning game at the ballpark in Old Orchard Beach. I'm Charlie Fellows. I and the league are going on a bit of a hiatus for the next few days. I will see you all for a game on Thursday night when the GNCBL returns. Until then, maybe watch some reruns. Maybe check out Game Changer. Keep yourself updated. I will see you then.